Yeah, we live in this very on-demand. I want it now, right?
Yes,
I want it and I want it now.
Right now.
That's why Quibi thought they would work.
Yeah. When you broke Quibi down to me,
you know what I mean?
I didn't know what that was.
They thought
but
you were
they picked the wrong time to put it out because now people have time to watch movies and
all about
do all that other stuff.
That's not their mistake. I think their biggest mistake was they didn't do enough of value adding.
Okay.
They didn't add enough value. So they didn't give away enough stuff for free to get you hooked into actually wanting the app.
You had to pay to play with
right?
everything.
So had they done a lot of dope exclusive content on there first that like you could only get if you had this app, and it was like limited. Like if they did it like, yo, here's an interview between the Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, but it's only going to be up here for 3 days.
Yeah.
It's them two really just talking about it or whatever. Even if it was the Jones and the Tyson whatever, like they could have done so many different things, right? That would have just been like, yo, I gotta get this app because I keep missing things. And then once you get it and you have your trial, you have I've been on this app for hours. I keep watching dope. I keep consuming content of things that I like. Plus, they have a wide array of it, right? And it's on demand, and it's on my phone. And had they done that, what they tried to do was just kind of become like a different platform for, for media.
They thought they could grab. They thought they could grab big names, and everybody would follow. That's all they did. They grabbed a couple big names, and we're like, oh, this is this guy's show, this is this girl's show, this is this guy's show. Come follow, come join. You can't see it anywhere else. And then people are like, but what is it?
Right.
What is that we can't see anywhere else?
Right. Exactly.
And then they're like, all right, you're not going to tell me? All right, well, I'm going back to Netflix. I'm going back to
Exactly.
Hulu. I'm going back to Amazon Prime.
It's
too much stuff.
Back to what I know.
Back to who I trust and what I know.
Yep.
They didn't build any value and they didn't build trust. And in today's society, we live in a very untrustworthy world.
Yeah.
Look, man, that's the sad reality of it. That everybody's so untrustworthy.
I think that's the trade-off.
Or thinks everyone's untrustworthy.
I think that's
Why
the
is
trade-off.
that?
I don't know if it's the sad reality. I think that it's the trade-off because here's the thing, right? Look, you know, no good deed goes unpunished, or right?
Yes.
Like you yin and yang.
Yep.
Like you can't have something without, you know what I mean? You can't have the mac and cheese without the yams.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta get it. I don't know what that had to do with something, but I'm a little hungry. But anyway,
the analogy.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
I like it the same thing.
I don't know sometimes, but like what I'm saying is like it's the trade-off as far as like one of the reasons why there's no trust is because everything happens so fast, or because I can be whoever I want to say, and that's why I hate bios. It's because I can put whatever I want in my bio, and as long as I have the image to back it up, right, you will be sold on that.
Yep.
And so that's one of the reasons why it's such an untrust, because a lot of people don't build value.
Yes.
They build an image.
Yes.
And so there is value in an image, though.
Okay.
Like there's value in that image, but you're not necessarily building a value-based image.
So you're taking the image at what face value instead of possibly thinking, hey, how can I work with this person? How can I build with this person? Do I need something like that type of thing?
So here's a perfect example, right? So with me trying to add value, right? I'm trying to build a value-based image as opposed to building an image that has value, right? And here's, if I wanted to build an image that has value, I would have began to start dressing in suits and start posting my gains and start showing people exactly how much money I'm making, how much money I've never posted. Like I tried, let me not say I've never posted, but I don't, like, they're not on my page. I don't really post like testimonials. I'm going to start because my page is getting a lot more traffic now, and so I do want people to understand that I am someone that they can rely on.
Exactly.
So I am going to start posting them because I understand the psychology behind them, but I'm actually against them. Just me, myself, and that's a personal thing because it feeds my ego, and I don't like doing anything that feeds my ego.
I hear you with
that's something that
that's like a killer.
Yeah, it's dangerous, is what it is. If I lead with my ego too much.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want to do that. So it's best to just let me and I hate when people try to pull that out of me. Like, nah, man, go ahead and do this. And I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm like, no,
Right,
you don't want that.
Right.
You don't want that.
I know
You want
me.
to 10
I know me. Let me keep the lion in. Let me keep the lion in the cage. I get you.
Like, I don't want that.
Nah, I get you.
I agree with that.
Nah, and so yeah, I try not to post testimonials, but if I wanted to build the image, I would have changed a lot of things, right? So I purposely took my time with using professional looking images, right?
Okay.
I've had a professional photographer down the hall from me every single day for a year straight. I could have had a photo shoot every day. And but what I really wanted to build value in my immediate community. Okay. I wasn't looking to expand and to utilize the algorithm in a way to say, hey, put me in front of a bigger audience.
Yeah, this is me.
Right. I am now because I want to show people how to do that. I want to be able to show people how to grow an audience on social. So here's what you do. You start by doing A, B, C, and D. Then you go ahead and get the professional. The other reason why I did that is because nobody wants to be seen starting at the bottom.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everybody wants to be seen like.
Oh, just as 50, step 50.
I'm not gonna show it to people and tell us like this and nah. We want to be told a story.
And look, before you go on, that's why I was telling people with this podcast, I purposely started off bad. Like, I started off by myself in my basement with an iPhone, nobody around me, just me stuttering, fucking up on my story, bad production, bad audio, bad everything bad. But over time, it was growing. So like you said, it's a story behind me.
100%, and that's how you build value. And so that's where back to like the trade-off, right? It's like, because of the way in which social media specifically, or the internet in general, has just made it easier for people to be whoever they want to claim to be, we don't trust as easy anymore. However, the internet has given anybody the ability to be whoever they want to be.
Whoever the hell you want to be.
And that is an amazing thing.
Yes.
That is something that is phenomenally just like there's nothing like that. Like, you can't really explain that
at all.
I don't even know how to say what value the internet and especially because, right, like I said, I'm 33, so I had the dial-up days.
Oh no, we came from that.
You know what I'm saying?
I still got an AOL.
Yeah,
I got an AOL.
I had the days when I couldn't be on the internet because my mom had to make a phone call.
You got to plug the joint into the landline.
Or fax was coming in.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Exactly.
Well, now I get everything straight from my phone.
Yeah. How
whatever
crazy is
internet,
that?
high speed, live,
like whatever
banking,
article, story,
stock market,
anything I want, right from there. So it's like I have the ability to see the because I'm a part of this generation, which is another blessing, right?
Exactly.
Man, it's like I can appreciate through gratitude, right? I can appreciate where we come from, because the other thing about the internet is that it makes you just like irregrettably impatient.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
That's fuck. Whenever technology is not working, I got a problem. I got to fight somebody. Hold up. No. I don't know why this joint is not working like this. It's wilding. Like,
yo.
It's a computer,
that's
bro.
100%.
It's doing a million things at once right now, and you're bugging.
And I know he gets a lot of those questions, KC, because he's the tech guy.
I used to like fix phones and computers and stuff, and the people that would come in there like, my life is on this phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I need you to bring my phone back to life so I can have my life back.
Right.
Like you the surgeon of the year.
And I'm like, well, I mean, did you back anything up? And they're like, no. They said I could do. And I'm like, all right, well. Moving on.
It's crazy, right? Because
that's how it is.
We've moved on from just having our lives on our phone, right, to like that actual physical device, to actually certain platforms. Like, if Instagram went down for 10 days, Well, let me not say that before
I was gonna say
don't bring it in. That's way too long. I'm sorry. Take that back.
2 days.
Yeah. If it went down for 2 days, if Instagram went down for 2 days, oh my God.
People losing money. People losing money. People losing big money, and then people are actually gonna like lose their minds.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Like their physical, like mind.
Well, you also gotta remember that may be depending on how much money this person don't got or have. That may be their only means of communication.
And a lot.
Like only means of communication to people.
Because it did
Insta,
become bigger than just money and social. Some people do communicate, but that aspect is low because you could just go to Facebook and all the other things. But as far as like people actually losing who they are, yes, 100%. People 100%. Will like flip out. Like some people like really wouldn't know what to do.
100%.
Like, a lot of people will really be in a mental hospital. And that's sad to say, but it's like that's what it's come to.
I mean, here's the thing though. Like, and I agree, but like there are bigger forces at work than a lot of people understand.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of there's been a lot of psychoanalysis that have gone into some of these apps to make them as addictive as they are.
Yeah, on purpose.
Right? There's a lot of certain things that just even like the game theory effect, like when you pull down and it's kind of like the lottery, right? That's just like game mechanics, which is a mental thing that we all kind of just have, which is why gambling is such a big addiction. And so they translated that. There's a movie about it on Netflix. They translated that
it's Social Dilemma.
Yes. And so when they translate certain things like that right into these apps, like
it's sad,
and
man.
it's and again, right?
But effective.
Right.
It's fun.
And so here's the thing. They then create an ecosystem. You can't have an ecosystem without having a system of dependency. And that's what those things create, is a system of dependency almost. We depend on them for so many things. Validation, likes, communication, business. We depend on these things. But that's how you create an ecosystem. And so that's why I'm like, that there's the trade-off. Like, yes, I'm addicted to it from time to time too.
We all
However, here's how I beat the system.
Yes.
All the baddies are muted.
Right?
All I do, right? I literally search and follow any page that posts mansions, cars,
I know
watches.
What you mean. So now you get that on your algorithms. You purposely putting it on there because you saw the joint. You see how they do it. If I follow baddies, that's all that's gonna pop up. And see, for me, like I said, I'm the same way. I purposely follow this. I purposely follow that. On Facebook, I purposely follow dog pages just so I can see dogs pop up on my story. I don't want to see y'all. I just want to see that.
And this becomes my manifestation board.
I'm so happy to hear y'all say that, bro. Because from a person that codes, like y'all beat the code.
Congratulations,
y'all beat it.
But here's the thing, right? And I'm still human, so it's like from time to time I'll be on the shade room. I just don't follow them because I'm going to consume that when I want to consume that.
Yes, it's the time and place for it.
I'm not going to allow you to force me to, because I've learned that my attention is a currency. And so I choose to give what I want when and where I want to give it. I treat it just like I treat my money. I'm going to choose when and where I want to. I ain't about to just be spreading it all over the crib and you could just take it from me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's happening. Is there are certain things that are just taken, and it happens, right? I'll go on here real quick and my attention will be gone. What was I just about to do?
I supposed to do? Yeah.
Wasn't we supposed to be
but it takes a
saving the world? Like,
but it takes a strong mind to go back to that thought of what I was supposed to do, because it's easy to get caught up in that, and that's our biggest thing out here as people.
You know what's crazy?
Is
I don't even think that it takes a strong mind. I think it takes strong habits.
Okay.
Because there's certain things that I do that help me. Because I know my brain is no better than the next man's. It's all about how you use it.
We subscribe to the same thinking.
Doing notes.
So that's why I got this big old calendar right
here. We
here.
say whiteboards earlier.
Because I can scribble down things that I'm like, oh, I was supposed to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I can just
we still carry pens.
Yes. People trust their brain too much.
And I do, but also we still need that that looking at it reminder. We still need that little bit of seeing it right there.
Need it.
Because I'm saying, I could pull my phone up to go to my notes, but before I went to my notes, I clicked on Twitter or
Not
Instagram
to mention,
or Facebook.
you've been looking at your phone all day.
Yeah.
You look at that note like, I got a note, but like I ain't trying to look at my phone. And that's psychology. That's not necessarily you don't want to do it. It's just kind of like, I got another alert. You might get mixed up into alerts.
Now I might get distracted.
But that sticky note, that yellow sticky note on your mirror.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta turn that book in.
Constantly
I gotta do that bill. Oh, I gotta call this person.
Right.
You gonna do it because you wrote it. You know what I'm saying? You wrote it.
100%.
You put it there. Pick it up. Let's go do it.
The other thing
100%.
is too, writing, right? The actual
Memory,
form of it helps with your
Script.
memory.
Fact.
That actual form of scribing things out,
Yes.
because you kind of start to remember that as well. Like it's a thing. It now becomes visual. It's literally, it was a moment for you that you remembered writing that down. It's not just something that you have to do. It's a memory attached to that task.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Real quick side note, this is how my brain works. Yeah, I kept saying notes and stuff like that. You know you could scan. You probably know this because, I was about to say.
Go ahead and say it.
You know you can scan from your notes, right?
Yeah, your notes on Apple.
That's the finesse, man.
I saw that on
the
Twitter.
iPhone scan on the
It's so
notes.
funny because I seen it. I was like, yo, y'all really didn't know that?
No.
I didn't know it
Because
until
I saw the dude on Twitter. He scanned the doc, pulled up, and uploaded to his joint. Then he signed it, and then sent it off. I'm like, yo, that's hard.
It's also because before they were able to do that, there's a million apps that do it.
Yeah,
try to
100%.
do it. You know what
I have a Genius
Besides
scan and
Adobe.
like a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
bunch of
all
all
that
of these
stuff.
things that are like,
Apple was like,
I be scanning on my phone all the time. But like, you know what I'm saying?
We mad late to the
convenience.
party,
Yeah,
man.
but
It's the convenience.
and it's really just, again, right? They're creating the ecosystem.
Dependence.
Right. That app is a native app.
Oh yeah.
So the more that you can do from the native platform, the more you rely on the phone, the device, because it's something that comes with that. Like these are the this is the razzle dazzle, right? That's what they're giving us is the razzle dazzle. So you know what I mean?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
But something we mentioned off mic, the Clubhouse app.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, how you discovered it, what it's like, just whatever you can give us about the Clubhouse app.
Divine feminine energy. That's how I discovered Clubhouse. No cap.
Really?
So here's the crazy part, right? I was doing my best to add as much value as possible, right? In as many spaces as I could possibly add them. And I'm like, boom, I'm going off. And a female friend, I would say more say acquaintance, right? Because we know each other kind of through the industry. But here I'm very big on vibrational energy, and she and I have always had great. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good.
I support you. You support me. I really rock with what you're doing. I think she reached out initially, and it was really just like a really
mutual
great rapport. Like I really rock with you, and it's like one of that long distance cousins or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So she had saw one of my posts on IG, and shouts to her. It's the Nene Show. Let me make sure I give her flowers because I'm very big on that. So Nene saw me on IG just adding value, and she was like, "Yo, are you on Clubhouse?" And I saw the message, but I didn't even respond immediately. And then she said, "As a matter of fact, check your DM." And she had sent me her number, and she was like, she sent me a message like, "Yo, it's this new app. You need to be on it." And she was really like vague. She was like, she didn't tell me nothing about it. She was like, "It's for people just like you." And I was like,
okay,
all right,
like,
cool.
what? Like,
so I'm like, but I've really been big on, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give y'all this, and I'm very rare on saying this on camera, but I'm gonna give y'all this.
Here we go, KC.
I've been practicing abstinence, right? Like I've been being abstinent, and because I want to get better at just downloading divine feminine energy without having to be attached to it, right? So
that's big, man.
It's been working, and so I've just been receiving, right? Because I realize how much of a receptor I need to be from women, right? Because in order to because we speak such a different language, in order to truly understand them, I just need to kind of be
take that out of it.
Yes, instead of like looking for something specific to get, like that's the problem. We go into every situation with a woman looking to get something specific out of it, as opposed to just being open to receive. And when I'm doing that, I'm like, oh,
but you know what
teaching
it is?
me and schooling me and showing me and this and that, like
it throws a lot of women off when we come like that.
100%. So because it's abnormal.
Exactly.
It's not. It's rare.
Exactly.
It's unique. You're a unicorn. When the last time you seen a unicorn? like that's like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
That's like, imagine just being in the hood and oh shit, that's a unicorn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like out of nowhere, you go into the corner store and it's like it's somebody, it's a nigga on a unicorn. Like it's a nigga on a unicorn. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when she hit me like, yo, you know, you need to be on this, she was like, it's invite only.
Yep, I heard that.
And but download the app and then let me know if you need an invite, and I will I'll send you one. And so here's why I say divine feminine energy, because I download the app and I sign up and I'm accepted. And at first I'm like, oh, I'm the man. Ego, right? Ego's like,
ego we talked about.
They know who I am? This is invite only, and they just let me up in here all like willy-nilly. Not realizing somebody had called my little brother, and this is why relationships matter so much, right? Because somebody called my little brother DJ Freeze, somebody I've known for years, right? Since he was 14. And I've done my best to like guide him in the DJ world, and all the plaques that you see in here are from him. Right, he's received them, and as an ode to me in our relationship, he's decided to park every single one that he gets at my studio. So
that's dope.
He says that until I think he wants to get his own studio. So I feel
Right.
like that's the last few I'm getting. I feel it coming. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. It's cool. I'm not even mad at him because he actually sent me the invite to Clubhouse.
Oh,
and so he had said like, yeah, this is definitely something for Kent. Like, this is like a platform where he can talk his mind. Yeah, no, he needs this. And I think that he told me about it, but again, he's like a little brother to me.
So you was like,
there's multiple times that I've done this, which I don't pay
attention
another
TikTok. All right.
Yeah. It wasn't even just that. He's just such my little brother that like, I don't be paying attention when he be talking sometimes.
Exactly.
Like, cause I know him well enough to know when to zoom out and then zoom back in.
Exactly.
But he always be dropping random gems. That's why I love him. I love him to death. So shout out to DJ Freeze, because he had actually already sent it to me, but I would have never looked at it if Nene hadn't said anything.
Like, hey, look.
Right. And so that's why I say divine feminine energy, because the ability of a woman to actually embolden a man to do something when he's willing to just receive it is phenomenal.
Exactly.
When you're not looking for anything in exchange and you just like looking to receive some dope energy on whatever level,
you can get so much accomplished.
Oh man. Hey. So that's how I landed on Clubhouse. And then, so here's what Clubhouse is for those who don't know, who haven't been invited yet. And when I got there, it was still in beta.
Oh, the early.
So
stage.
yeah, and so they were still way fewer than like 70,000 users.
Really?
So it was very unique. It was very, very new, and it was and again, it's a social media platform in which you follow people. It's like Twitter for conversations.
Like you said, just without the words.
Exactly. You don't have the ability to type. The only way that you have the only form of communication that you have is your voice. And it's all live in real time. And so it's like having a huge conference call or Zoom meeting without the photo or without the video. Right? And it's cool and unique because everybody can do it just straight from their phone, and everyone has the ability to. Here's where the kind of social aspect comes from, because that alone just sounds like, man, we could just do that on a phone call.
Exactly.
But there are random people on there having conversations in rooms that have titles. And so you can whatever it is that your heart desires,
like a chat room.
Find that person.
Yeah, you can exactly. This is the modern day chat rooms. This is modern day chat.
Okay,
that's exactly what
we
this
used to be on
is.
the little chat back in the day.
Back on Yahoo, right? Yahoo Messenger.
Yes,
Messenger.
That's what it was.
And you can see the rooms that people are talking about, and they can name the rooms, and so you can go on there. And here's the benefit: is because they made it invite only, right? It has the desire for everybody.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
Another
it's making you
cycle,
strive to
right?
work to get to that.
Another
Drumming
thing,
up
like
that buzz.
because as Maslow's hierarchy, right? There's just certain things that every human being wants in order to exist, and one of those things is the feeling of belonging. We want to have purpose in some sense of uniformity, some sense of community.
Yes,
Pardon me, like
yes.
you know what I mean? Where it's like
Exactly.
I add value to the world because of my community. And of course, there's part of that speaks from ego, and that's fine, and that's dope, and that's why ego has its place. But then there's some certain people who utilize that to justify ego, and that's when it really gets dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna ask you another question, but I just also like to just remind the listeners and the people is just like everything that you're saying is so much factual that it's like this show isn't just based off me just talking all episode. It's just more or less of me letting the people that I have come on here just share their thoughts and their stories. So when people listen to this podcast, like I said, it's just based off experiences. Like we said, that's one thing you can't Google.
You can't.
100%.
You can't Google experiences.
We're trying to give you the first through fifth step instead of jumping to the 20th step.
Because once again, I tell people, I always say this, I'm going to have part 2s for my episodes, so everybody that I had on, I want them to come back a year later so we can see their progress.
That's dope.
Whether if it's good or bad.
Right, that's
because
dope.
it's life.
That's
It's
amazing.
life.
Like,
That's amazing.
you get what I'm saying?
It's amazing. Kudos to you for creating this platform, for stepping out,
Absolutely.
especially in what today seems like, right, where
Yes.
everybody thinks that this market is oversaturated, but we don't realize how utilized it is. It's getting there.
Yeah,
it's growing,
Yes.
but it's nowhere near at its peak.
At all. We still in the beginning.
Yeah,
Still.
yeah.
Beginning beta stage.
Yes.
Like,
because audio is definitely the future.
Yes.
Shouts to my guy Gary V. You'll see his book up there. All of his
Gary
books
V.
up there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he says that all the time, and I didn't realize how right he was until I got invited to Clubhouse, and I was like, oh, holy shit. Gary V said
Like,
audio is the
is there?
I be knowing.
So the question I asked y'all off mic, do you feel like if Clubhouse was ever open to the public, would it just take the purpose away from the whole app?
And so no, and that's why I said I was gonna save that for here, because I believe that we are starting to get into a world where social media platforms are going to become curated to the user. Meaning some people, like you said, right? In certain situations, Clubhouse would probably be perfect for you.
Yeah.
Because there is no visual aspect. You can only talk when you want to talk.
Yes.
If you're in a room where they're like having a great conversation and dropping knowledge, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Where people are talking about building wealth, building this, like building apps, doing all. You can actually just be in the audience and listen.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
And
So
so
you don't always have to just chime in.
Not at all.
Okay,
Not at
okay.
all. Because there's only so many people. So there's a stage. When you go into these rooms, there's a stage.
Okay.
And there's only but
I
like
was just
20
about to
people.
say.
Right. There's only 20 people who can actually be on the stage to be talkers at a time. But some of these rooms I've been in have grown to be 500, 600, 700 people in them listening at a time. And again, this is still invite only, very early days of the app. And so it's phenomenal, because then people can do things like monetize it. Like if I wanted to drop some gems about whatever, I could have a closed room. I can lock the room and charge people to get in.
Really?
Yeah. So there's
And you still got that whole.
and so they haven't allowed that now, but there's that's
Yeah.
coming, right?
Yeah,
That's
for sure,
the
yeah.
future of this,
Private
because
room, yep.
right, there are people who perform better in those environments.
Yeah. See,
And that's again the give and take of social media becoming so rampant and so crazy. Yes, great. Now another freaking app for me to be stuck on my phone for hours.
To
And
move
people
around.
have said that already.
Yep.
People have been like, yo, I've been on this app for 48 hours straight. And I'm like, what?
Hey, that's
How's that about? And I'm like, yo, what are you talking about for 48 hours straight?
That's
Like,
crazy,
but I got something to do.
Hey,
You ain't had to go take a poop. Nothing
Like,
happened.
nothing,
Like,
like,
who is
phone-
crazy? You
talking.
wasn't eating? Like, what?
phone glue.
And I
Keynote
get it.
speakers at 2 a.m.
I get it, because you can end up just going into a room and kind of just listening. And the other day, I was in a room that they were dropping so many gems, I fell asleep.
Because it was just
I was just in the room listening, and I was just like,
That
this is
tone,
so
man,
crazy.
that
I was like,
tone
I'm
and
learning
pitch.
everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know.
And you could have woke back up to it if you wanted to.
I woke. Thank God the room was closed. But if it was still open, I would have still been in the room
In the
listening.
room.
And so and it's interesting because there are people from all over the world.
Okay, yeah.
Who are on it? So time is a big
time
difference.
zones. Damn, I ain't think about that.
Right.
One.
So
That's
and
crazy.
it also plays. Not only does it play on the idea of exclusivity, but and this is the one thing. And I said this because I always trying to find. I always just practice gratitude to try to find the best things about certain things and just have a positive aspect about no matter what the situation is. I try to find the best because there's something bad about it. And there's a lot to say that's not right with Clubhouse. There's a whole lot. Of course, racial separation of like, can I see all of the rooms, or am I only going to be able to see the rooms that you think are curated to me? That like, because maybe I want to be in a room where they adding different value. Like, there's a lot of like what's going on here with that. And so, of course, right, the cookout is coming. The cookout is a sister, let me not say sister, but a rival app that. But it's curated for us, for our culture.
Okay,
right?
now
so
we
cooking, right?
Now we cooking. For real.
And so that's coming.
Uncle on the grill.
Here's the crazy part, right?
Now, are they invited to the cookout? Is going to take a whole new meeting.
Yes.
A whole new meeting.
And so that's a brilliant thing, right? That they did.
And
so here's the crazy part, right? On Clubhouse, I was having because I didn't know about the cookout, right? The way, and this is how information gets passed. The way in which it was told to me was that people were on Clubhouse. Clubhouse started from pretty much just Silicon Valley people because the developers were sharing it with their community.
So they could talk about stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so
for sure,
that was great, and it was building based off that. And then the culture came when it got opened up to us.
Yeah.
And so we started having interesting conversations, just crazy, different stuff. Right. It's not just that we bring in the culture.
Yep.
And so when that happened, there was a room about it. About, black people brought the culture to Clubhouse. And so there was
yo, for real. Yo, what?
So there were discussions.
We claiming ours.
Right. And so there were discussions like, well, Clubhouse was here before y'all. It was already worth this, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And so people was like, well, and this is how it was told to me. This is how the story was told to me. That people was like, well, we gonna start the cookout. And it was just like as if it was somebody randomly saying, I'm gonna start an app, not like nobody from Silicon Valley. And it was really kind of just like we're leaving this and going there. And I always have unique perspectives on things. And so I said, no, like if we can find value here, why not have both? Why are we leaving here because they say that we not wanted? It ain't, you know what I'm saying? We're not back in segregation days. Like I'm here to get whatever I can.
Facts.
Because because the world works one way.
And everybody in there isn't saying we are wanted. It's just a small percentile that just came together.
Yo, who gives a
that
fuck
doesn't
if
make
you
up the
want
whole
me
app.
Here? What you gonna do?
It's other people in here that want me here.
Here's the crazy. Here's who I am, right? I'm such a like I'm gonna get in anyway, and I'll change my whole. You can only show one picture.
I'm with you there, bro.
I'll change that.
I'll find a way.
I'll change my name, and I'll be in that motherfucker getting all the value. I wish you would. How you gonna tell me it's not me? It's the internet. You know what I'm saying?
You sound a little black over there, guys.
Yeah. It's all right. I was raised in the hood. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Exactly.
But, and so I started the conversation to try to say, yo, we got to stop being so